Hello buddy, welcome back to another video. Today is episode 17 of your NHL 21 Columbus Blue Jackets franchise mode as we're heading into the off season of the 2024 as we're looking to massively improve the team as we just went into our first playoff appearance. Unfortunately getting swept, but we're looking for a little bit of redemption. But before we get into today's video, I'd like to just say if you are new to the channel, make sure to slap that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. That would be very much appreciated, boys. So let's get into this one here for the Columbus Blue Jackets as we got a lot to do. We got to kind of improve the team. We got a lot of young guys coming up the roster, and it's kind of a logjam right now, especially for our offensive core. We're going to have Ken Johnson, of course, going to be definitely ready to play full ice time. 83 overall. He put up some amazing numbers following through in his first 3 games. Wasn't too bad in the playoffs. Definitely wasn't, the greatest. He didn't score any goals, but he's a playmaker, right? That's what he's meant to do. He's meant to be a playmaker, and, honestly, he wasn't the worst. He won 51% of his faceoffs, not terrible. Played a decent amount of minutes. He was all right. And for the first time playing alongside of guys like Patrik Laine and Warren Foegele, he did pretty well. But going into the next season, we're having a little bit of a logjam because of the fact that, Jared McCann had such an amazing season up on that second line. We don't know necessarily if he's going to jump up to be a second liner or not. And if he does, that means Kirill Marchenko might have to go in the block because of the fact that McCann has a no movement clause, or we could trade away Liam Foudy as well, who just put up a stellar season. Yeah, you can't even trade this guy away if we really even wanted to start talking about him. Liam Foudy had a nutty year, and I think Liam Foudy is he's going to be part of the team for the future. He's a guy that I want to play as a second line guy. You look at his defensive numbers. He's amazing defensively. Not just that, he put up an amazing season alongside of Laine. We want to keep him. He's our future guy for the future, and he's a big part of this team. But the biggest thing I wanted to improve upon this upcoming season was our defense. Our defense is not that bad. We got some future guys coming up the pipeline, and of course Terry Luginen, who should almost be ready for this upcoming season. But once again, he's a left-handed defenseman, defensive defenseman, and we need some right-handed guys. We need an actual dominant top 2 guy to play on this team. And, I give it to Zach Werenski. He's put up some amazing numbers over these past couple seasons. His offensive numbers have just been nuts. Not too even that bad defensively this year. I give it to him. He played a decent amount of minutes. Actually played a lot less minutes. I think that also helped him. He played a lot less minutes because of the fact that we picked up Brett Pesce and that, we picked up Gerard. And this defensive core played amazing. Now, players that we want to keep, of course, Andrew Peeke. His defensive numbers are just insane. I don't even think you could even look at trading away a guy like an Andrew Peeke who put up a very solid season alongside Samuel Girard. Girard is also a guy I don't want to trade away right now. His numbers, he popped right back up to where we wanted him to be. Defensively, he's all right. And offensively, he was awesome. He's a power play guy that we need for a while. And unless we pick up a top 2 guy to replace that. But, there's not a lot of free agent targets in this, of course, upcoming free agency class for defensemen. I think Devon Taves is the best guy. So we might have to make a trade. And the one guy that I can see us easily trading away is Retro Migrado, the guy that we picked first overall back in 2022, almost 2 years ago now. I don't think he's going to really fit on this team. And the reason why he's not going to fit on this team is sniper. We got snipers all over this damn squad, especially up in the top 6. Patrik Laine puts up 50 goals a year. You got Marchenko, who does the same, and Bjorkstrand, who almost throws up a good solid 20-30 goals a season. So you really don't need another goal scorer guy on the squad when you already have massive amounts of goal scoring offense, and you already got guys that are on long-term contracts, for example, like a Liam Foudy, who I'd rather not lose this nice contract that we have for Liam Foudy, especially that he just put up 83 points and he's making $4.6 million. That's what it's all about. We're about paying players cheap contracts, and yes, Richard Migrado does have a cheaper contract because we haven't even signed him, to one yet, so he'd be cheap as hell. He wouldn't cost us anything. But the problem with him is that, yes, he's going to produce massive amounts of numbers. There's no doubt about that. But when we already have some really good talent coming up, and we really do not need Rutger McGrado when we already got a Marchenko and we already got some guys that produce a lot of goals. We really don't need him. So I'm thinking maybe he is the guy that we go after, some stellar defenseman to pick up for this core, and we get rid of Brett Pesce. Brett Pesce was good for the 1 year, but sign him to a 4 to 5 year deal. I don't want to do something to that because we might have to pay him, a no movement clause, which we don't know necessarily if we're going to have to do that or not. So that is going to be a big question moving forward here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So instead of babbling on, let's get on simulating the next little bit, and let's get on to, the draft and everything, and move on to that, because we want to move on to the next step. And that's the big thing here with the Columbus Blue Jackets, is we want to move on to that next step. We got our asses beat in the first round, and we noticed that, yes, you could say that we could possibly need Rutger McGrado because of the fact that we were not able to score in this last, series. But I think the biggest thing was, defensively. We struggled immensely defensively. Philly had a better defense core, 10 times better than us, and their offensive core was light. It was all right. And our offensive core should have produced a lot more than what it did. No doubt about that. I'm not making any excuses for that. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are your Stanley Cup champions here in year 2024. So they're right back on top once again. That's unbelievable how Pittsburgh just seems to always be there. But it seems like, they've won it now twice, back in 2021 and also in 2024. So Pittsburgh, they've just been a deadly team over the last little bit. Same with Tampa Bay. Individual award, Stamkos wins the Art Ross this upcoming season. Scheifele gets the Hart Memorial. James Norris goes to Aaron Ekblad. Steven Stamkos gets the Lady Byng. Bobby Brink gets the Calder this year. Larry Marchenko won it last year. Conn Smythe goes to Sid the Kid. Hellebuck wins the Vezina. Hart wins the William Jennings. Bill Masterton goes to Jamie Alexiak. Savoy wins the Jack Adams. Deneau wins the Frank J. Selke. Ted Lindsay goes to Mark Scheifele. And Maurice Rocket-Richard goes to Connor McDavid. Laine was up there, but Connor McDavid had like 60-some goals. It was nuts, the amount of offense that McDavid was producing. So, draft lottery, Toronto jumps up. New Jersey, they won a cup, and now they are your lottery winners this year. That is absolutely baffling to see. So I think we still have our first round draft pick coming into this draft. We actually didn't. Oh, and here's practically the 2003 draft class, all retiring now. Install Bergeron. Bergeron retiring there after almost winning another cup there in Boston. Blake Wheeler, Zach Parise. Brent Burns wins the cup there in Pittsburgh to end his career out. Keith Yandel. Goaltending wise, Nick Foligno also retires there, former Blue Jacket. Price retires, and also Mike Smith also retires as well. Edmonton Oiler legend, apparently. As we'll keep on the simulation and going, we'll get right up to the draft, and then we'll take a look at what we have for picks coming up and stuff like that. We should have a decent amount of picks. First, 2/3, 2/4, so not bad. We're going to be up in the 22nd range here on the first round. So our biggest goal is, let's find a defenseman that we can find. Honestly, I think we have the money to do it. The biggest player that we got to pay here in the next little bit is Patrik Laine and maybe a Warren Foegele. But also Jared McCann, he's a second liner. Oh man, that's gonna be so we might have to keep Rutger McGrado, because that changes up the entire plans here. Because since now we have to keep Jared McCann for the next year, which, I don't mind. I honestly do not mind keeping Jared McCann, because I wanted to keep him in the first place anyways. I never wanted to trade Jared McCann anyways because of his defensive game. That's the main reason why we wanted to keep Jared McCann, was because he was a really good contributor in the playoffs for us. He was solid, and if he could play some really good minutes on that second line where, it was a good producing second line, amazing, right? The problem is that we're going to be losing out on a goal scorer who was amazing, but he's back on the third scoring line forward. So actually we're saved. But I don't know. I don't know if we should trade Rutger McGrado or not. Let's take a look at what the trade pool looks like right now, and we'll make up our mind on what we want to do. We got tons of time to spend. We got some, we're going to look around the NHL. Mark Scheifele's on the block after putting up some insane... did I hear that right? No, okay. I was just seeing that he won a bunch of awards, but I think he is a free agent this upcoming season, so some big names are going to be in the free agency list. Anyways, defensively, we need someone stellar defensively to come up on this team. I think that's really the big thing that we need. Bowen Bryam. Now, this would be a pretty big steal. They want to get rid of him. Defensively, he looks all right. The problem is he's another left-handed defenseman. Now, are we willing to risk Zach Werenski for a guy that could play better defensively than Zach Werenski? I don't know. That is the biggest thing that just kind of went through my head is, would we trade away Zach Werenski to pick up somebody that would be better for the team moving forward? I don't know. Zach Werenski's contract is just so nice, though. That's the hard thing about trading away him, is that his contract is absolutely just magnificent. And I don't know if I really want to run with a 3 lefty rotation or just sign Brent Pesce again and just go with that exact same defensive core going into the next season, as there's really no one available throughout, the entire NHL. Do we go with the same guy again, or that's kind of the thought process of me right now is, do we go after the same guy again, or do we try to find somebody else that could replace Zach Werenski, like a Bowen Bryam, who could probably even be better than Zach Werenski? Right? That's my kind of thought process, is that he's a medium elite defenseman in Bowen Bryam. But if he doesn't jump up, then we're kind of screwed. And he has not produced over the past couple of years compared to Zach Werenski, who's almost thrown up, 60 points a season. It's going to be pretty hard to kind of throw away Zach Werenski like that. I know his defensive game is not as strong, but compared to Bowen Bryam, who, sometimes doesn't always, develop greatly, he might stay at an 85, or we might just get, screwed over, which we definitely do not need that happening to us. We definitely do not need to get screwed over. Defensively in Edmonton, they got a lot of defensemen that we could possibly pluck one off, but they got a lot of offensive defensemen who, I don't think would fit on the team. Florida, they got Jacob Asisima, but once again, another defensive defenseman. We don't need another defensive defenseman. Now, Aaron Ekblad, yeah, I don't know if Florida would really want to trade that type. That's their big boy. I don't think they would ever want to trade away their big boy. Romanov, Labos, Carson Lambos. Oh, sorry guys for hitting the mic there. Yeah, I don't know if there's really going to be anyone that... there's a couple defensemen here in New Jersey, in Ruotsalainen and Vatanainen, and there's really no one that I would be like, oh yeah, that's a guy that we want on the team. Broberg's there. So New Jersey picked low with their first overall selection there. Yeah, there's not a lot of great defensemen right now that I'm finding up on this, on teams, and no one's really won the trade one either. That's the biggest thing. And the only guy that was available was Bowen Bryam. Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore would be wonderful, but we're looking for a defenseman that, they have like 5 really good defensemen, which is kind of what they have, but they got a bunch of free agents, so they could easily make room for Nickel and Timothy Liljegren, which I would love this prospect here, right here. But another defensive defenseman. Huh. We might just have to draft our own defenseman, honestly. Here's Kirill Fedorov. This was one of the guys that we were thinking about drafting, I think, way back. Or were we? Can't exactly remember. Was this the draft where we drafted Retro? No. That was maybe another draft. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the damn time. Maybe that is not even the guy that we even seen before. And I'm just talking absolute crap out of my ass. Matt Dump, a lot of horrible defensemen here in San Jose. Jesus crikey, San Jose, what are you doing? Yeah, there's no defenseman out here. Philip Myers. I mean, if they want to make some room to sign some other defensemen like a Travis Sanheim and stuff like that, but they need a right-handed guy in Myers anyway, so they wouldn't want to trade away a guy like that. Yeah, man, we are... I don't think we're going to find the guy that we really want to pick up to come to the team, honestly. Yeah. I think we might just stick with the defense core that we have and maybe develop somebody into that, that high-caliber defensive area. So, because there's really no one out there. There's really no one to trade for, so... And no one that I'm willing to trade away, our big guy in McGrotto for, right? Bowen Bryan, I don't think is worth it. If he doesn't jump up, then we get screwed, right? So Chad Esposito, defensive defenseman. He's like an Alex Pietrangelo. Another left-handed guy is the biggest issue with that one. I think we need offensive depth, though. We have a lot of, oh my lord, wow. Caden Jaspers, 49 goals, 44 assists, my lord. His shooting is off the wall. Another goal scorer. TJ Oshie, similar type. You got Jokin in here. Definitely not as good as the other guy there. Bodeman, you got Blujos. A lot of snipers here, man. And then you got Dennis Pimpin, and then you kind of drop off from there. So I think the best guy, honestly, to go for is Caden Jaspers. I think that's your automatic best guy to go for. Put up some great numbers, has a great shooting category, and if he develops into somebody good, maybe he could be a depth guy for the team. Esposito turned out to be not that bad. Buname, good thing we didn't select him. Jokinen, good thing we didn't select him. So we definitely did get... Blujos is so low elite playmaker who actually is good defensively. Doesn't have that bad offensive numbers. So Tampa Bay Lightning took the good player there. We do not want Shannon Kirk, especially for that price. Hell to the no. But anyways, I like to take a look at the ending of the first round here. So Blue Jays actually didn't... The rest of it was pretty crappy. Like, I was thinking Blue Jays was not going to be very good. I didn't think he was going to be a low elite, because usually those players that are, you know, kind of lowly rated, that, like, I guess, inaccurate, right? It's not very accurate of a test. Usually they don't turn out to be very good, and I guess that one turned out to be amazing. So we got McCann here. I think we could rate a couple picks to pick up Cameron McCann and go with Reed Tuber here. We already got a lot of goalies, but might as well pick up another one, and that's a high elite goalie, baby. What is his full name? Reed Tuber. Perfect. From the WHL. 36 wins, 23 losses. Put up some decent numbers. So another future goalie. We have 3 future goalies coming up the pipeline now. That is all we need. All we need right now. Oh my lord, there's some... Oh my god. Yes. Aldridge Balstick. I'll pick... Oh, that's kind of a bust. And then we'll pick up... I like another pick here. Dallas's pick. Because I'd like to get that other McCann guy or whatever his name is. So 4th. Actually, if we just trade you a 3rd and next year... Carolinas, and then try to maybe get suckle some more picks from this draft here, eh? Yay, there we go. So we get a couple more draft picks out of this draft. I really just, that's the biggest thing right now with this team, is if we can get more draft picks, and if we see, you know, this draft looks pretty filled up, honestly, and it might be filled up until the later on rounds, and if it is, hell yeah, that's perfect. McGinn, welcome to the team, my man. Medium top 6 sniper, another damn sniper. Whatever. I mean, if we can keep getting potential and keep getting guys that we could trade away for, you know, future players, that's perfect. That's what I want. I want future players to come along this squad. Jackson Reimer, we could wait on him a little bit. Perfect. Any other guys that are like automatics? No, not a lot of automatics. Going to be a lot of guessing now. So, not a goaltender. We'll go with this Kiyomiama from ASAT there. Medium top 9, 2-way forward, not bad. Some more potential to the team. I'm just going to select that Reimer guy, just pull him right off the board, just so no one else selects him. But Jackson Reimer, welcome to the team, my man. Low elite playmaker, 60 overall, kind of like an Eddie Allman. So yeah, that's what I mean. We got to keep the prospects, just the pipeline and coming for people, right? Keep selecting good players. And I mean, we just kind of restocked our forward core pretty good and just won the draft. And we made it to the playoffs this year. That's the funny thing. Brian Allman. Oh, we got to bring in the other Allman brother. I don't care how bad he is, but you know, we are not looking that bad in this draft, right? We got the sniper in the first round. Then we got, what was in the 3rd round there? I know we got the Tuber kid there. We're looking pretty damn good, honestly, though. I am really, really excited about the way that this draft is ending up. And we still have a decent amount of picks here near the end with the trade that we did with the Dallas Stars there. So, Mario Vauclair, why not another center? Medium top 9. See, that's more potential and just more trade value for us in the future when we really want to stack up the team. And then, sure, we'll just choose another Finn guy, Timu. And that should be almost it for the draft. One last little pick. See if there's any gems. I don't know if there will be or not. Probably not. Nope. Any more potential players that, you know, there's up here? We'll go with Tate Arsenin. Why not? Go with someone random. Not the best pick in the world, but I gotta say, that was one of our best jobs. Jaspers was awesome. Tubert, McGinn, Reimer was good. Not a bad draft for the Columbus Blue Jackets. You know, we stacked up the forward core once again, which is good for the future-wise. Because, I mean, we're going to be here for a little bit with the Columbus Blue Jackets, right? And if we're going to be here for a little bit, we want to make this team a dynasty for a long time to come. So if we can do that with this team, perfect. So for the second, or for the top 6 going into next year, I guess we really don't have to change away anyone, because if Kent Johnson does become a third liner, then we can just use Kent Johnson as a third liner. David Krejci, I really did enjoy his game, but I don't think David Krejci is going to come back next year. Also, Cam Atkinson, I think we're going to buy him out this year just to give us some extra salary cap. Plus, we don't need him on the team anymore. I really don't think we need Cam Atkinson on the team. It sucks that we have to buy him out, but that's what we need to do. Nikushkin, I don't think we're going to bring back, especially at the money that he's asking for. Not worth it. Because going into next year, we'll most likely be going with, once again, Laine, Foudy, Fogle. And in the second line, McCann, Bjorkstrand, either Marchenko or Kent Johnson is what we'll do on that second line, I think is what we'll do. And then for the third line, we'll go with Marchenko, maybe a Kent Johnson. Rutro Magrado might be ready going into next season. We definitely need a third line centerman. Janmark we'll get rid of. Chalpik, he's not a bad depth piece, I think, for the team, especially defensively. He's not that bad, but he wants a lot of money, so Chalpik get lost. Eric Robertson, sure, he's a little tough guy, so we'll bring him back in. Andre Albermankian, Dower, he's developing quite nicely, so might as well bring him back in. Cameron Hughes. Nick Bonino, he's been alright, but I don't know, this year he's definitely dropping a bit. 20 points this past season. Oh man, defensively he's still a beast. I think we got to bring him back in just for that defensive game. I don't even think you could waste Bonino's talent like that. I mean, we got to keep him on the team. He's so useful for us, honestly. Eddie Allman, the Allman man on the team. Get him on here. I think he's actually not brothers with that other guy. I think the other guy's a Canadian. Connor Lockhart is just taking forever to develop. Jaspers. I think that's all we need to sign. Orak, we might as well sign you. I think we got him through a trade, so might as well sign him back. Defensively now, Antropov, you're actually jumping up quite nice. You're 19 years old, so you could actually jump up to be something good. Lukkarainen, we definitely need to get you on the team. Luzhinen's almost ready to go this year, so that's exciting. Mikola, Witherspoon. Now, defensively is the big question here, because do we go back with Brett Pesce and Andrew Peeke and just stick with that defensive core for the next little bit? Because if we go with Brett Pesce, 5 years. So how much would that be for a contract for Brett Pesce? Let me just set up this wheel right quick, because this will be the biggest question here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. If Brett Pesce is not too bad, it's not a no movement clause, we could keep him. But if it's a full-blown no movement clause, I don't necessarily know if I want to keep him. And it will be a no trade clause for Brett Pesce. Andrew Peeke, he wants a good solid 6 years, which I would pay, because he plays really good alongside of Zach Werenski, and I could see him playing alongside of Zach Werenski for the future to come. So I think it would be 1 year nothing. 1 year nothing, yes. 1 year nothing, and then a half no movement and half no trade clause. So if we sign up for 6 years, it'd be 3 years, no movement. Let's do 7. Because that would be 3 years. Let's do 7 at 4.9. I want Andrew Peeke locked up. Andrew Peeke is a future defensive defenseman. I mean, look at his numbers. It's beast numbers right there. Get rid of Justin Schultz. Gabriel Carlson, I've been enjoying him. He's put up some solid numbers over the past few years. But maybe we go with somebody else. You know? this was not a bad season for him this past season, but let's go with somebody else. Let's build a new, back end there. Let's maybe add some veteran guys up on that top 6 this upcoming season, or maybe Tara Luginen will be ready to go. That will also be a big question here for the Columbus Blue Jackets, if he'll be ready or not. Alrighty, so that should be good for the defensive core. Goaltending wise, I don't think we need to do anything. We got Mackenzie Blackwood and Adin Hill. Adin Hill's now into his no trade clause, so both of them now have a no trade clause. So if we do need to trade away a goalie, we can. If we really do want to go that option, we do have a lot of goalies signed to a contract. We only need a few back. We will be definitely keeping the boy Kivelniks. Rest in peace, my man. We're definitely going to be keeping him throughout this entire franchise mode, making sure that he either gets a Calder or the Calder Championship or even the Stanley Cup Championship. I'll make sure he's on the damn roster they raise that damn cup up. Rest in peace, my man. You're a fucking hero, bro. Anyways, I think that's basically everything that we need to do here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. We don't have a big free agency. Andrew Peeke signed his deal. Eric Robertson, Kivelniks, Bonino signs. Like I said, we didn't really need to sign a lot of players. We have, majority of the team ready to go. We just need to sign some new depth guys for the offensive core. And Brett Pesce. Now, Brett Pesce, we said that it would be no trade clause. Now, maybe we could wait and maybe it'll be something totally different, or we could go after totally somebody else, which is something that we could do as well. But that's the thing. Who's going to be really available this upcoming free agency is going to be the biggest question. Is there going to be any good defenseman that, I could get at a cheaper deal compared to maybe Dylan DeMello? I could possibly get Dylan DeMello at a decent price, two-way defender. Could probably play alongside of Girard. But that's really it. You got Pesce and then Colin Miller. And then if you lose Brett Pesce, you're going to be crap out of luck, I think. So, you know what? I think the safest bet is just to lock up the defensive core. Sign Brett Pesce for the next, I think Brett Pesce is a two-way, so it doesn't even really matter if we keep Brett Pesce or not. Yeah, he's a two-way defender now. I always forget that I made him a two-way defender. But, I mean, we could always trade away Girard if we need to. And I think if we get this defense score locked up as quick as we can, there's not a lot of good defense score coming up. And, get it locked up. We'll sign him for 5 years instead at $5.15 million for Brett Pesce. I think that's a good deal for Brett Pesce. He can come back here for the next 5 years, and that's our top 4 right there. Like I said, the top 4 produce very well. If we could, improve the depth a little bit, make that more defensive, I think that would be great for us. Adin Hill, Mackenzie Blackwood, and make our depth also a lot defensively as well for our offensive course. So we'll sim up to the free agency day, and then we'll take a look at what we'll need to sign. We won't really sign anyone. We'll leave that up to you guys in the next video. I also wanted to see Alan Crane. Do we need to sign him to a new deal? I think he's still on contract. Yeah, 4 years left. I made Crane. What an amazing season this guy did. I mean, he struggled in the playoffs, but gave us a pretty respectable record and put us into a pretty good playoff spot. So, pretty good job from the guys. So, let's see what's available in free agency day. Now, remember, we really don't need a lot of top 6. We really don't need a whole lot. We just need depth. I think that's going to be the biggest thing coming into free agency is that we just need depth. Oh, excuse me. So let's take a look. Woo-wee! Sebastian Aho is available. My lord, you want to talk about a power forward that we definitely need? Sebastian Aho is available right off the get-go. That would be someone to just, that would be tremendous. But paying $13 million when Patrik Laine is going to be expiring here soon, that's a lot of money to give up. Shifley, $12 million as well. That's expensive for a lot of these guys. Toffoli, Mantha. You got Donato, Ennis, Richie, and then the rest of the guys down here. So now remember, we do need depth forwards going towards, our depth of our team. Since, McCann's going to have to move up. We need a depth center. I think that's definitely the biggest thing that we need. Defensively, like I said, there wasn't a lot of big right-handed defensemen. And it was a good thing that we did sign Brett Pesce when we did, because there wasn't a lot of other talent out here. Goaltenders, you got Frederick Anderson, but there's not a lot of special goaltenders available either. So honestly, we're practically just going to be saving our money again, just signing some depth players. And if you guys maybe think that Sebastian Aho might be a bet that we can go after, comment that down below. I would not mind, handing a big $13 million contract to a guy that can produce some massive amounts of points and could possibly play great defensively. I would totally be looking into something like a Sebastian Aho for this team. But we do have Ken Johnson. We do have guys climbing up the pipeline. So do we really want to do that? Tell me, guys, in the comment section below. But for right now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Adios, amigo.